Welcome back, everybody. It's Tea Time Disc Golf. Steve Braud again with Devin, Frederick. We are at the People's Championship at Jordan Creek Park. Absolutely gorgeous park. We're really excited to bring you coverage of what kind of is the back nine. We're starting the back nine off on hole 14. Devin, how are you doing?
I'm good today, thank you.
So this is this used to be one of the worst looking holes on the course, and turned into one of the absolute most gorgeous holes on the course when they actually got grass to grow back in this shady part of the terrain. So you guys are going to be excited to see this.
This hole is back on an old dump. So
it used to be
refrigerators.
Back when
this was first put in, you'd get a lot of people back there just digging up the ground, looking for marbles, looking for old glassware and that kind of thing. And
as you can see from the picture now, it's you would never guess that there used to be garbage all over the place. So here's Hank. Hank's been he got 2 birdies in a row here to kind of kickstart his back nine. So we'll see if he can't keep pace and do something here. You're taking the left side gap, which is different.
This is something that just opened up. There's you can kind of see the dead stump laying there on the ground right off the tee. Used to be going up through that lane, and yeah, I think I've only thrown that lane a couple of times before this tournament. But
another interesting move by Dylan. That was definitely going OB, and he hit that tree and it kept him in bounds. But a flick roller isn't something you see here very often.
This is definitely probably one of the most technical holes on the course.
Yeah,
one of the tighter lines to hit.
A really good backhand shot to get up there towards the basket. I don't think that I've seen many rollers work here, so I'm surprised that Dylan did that. That looks like a decent line. Yeah,
it could have been one of the best ones of the bunch right there. Doesn't get much better than that.
No, that was a really good park job there by myself.
Dan just trying to get up and down
with a really good shot.
Gave it a good run.
Yeah, really good shot. That hill is pretty steep that you're looking at there.
Yeah, this is definitely a hill you got to worry a little bit about the roll away.
I don't see Hank miss that putt very often.
And then as I talk about the rollaway,
there it goes. That is brutal.
That was a little unfortunate. I guess that's what I get for missing the putt.
Yeah. So now for par, back up the hill.
And that's a long way up that hill.
Well, that's the first bogey for you of the round, and hopefully
I don't feel like I deserve it.
No. And Dylan with a great birdie.
Dylan squeaks it in there. Everybody else just cleaning up.
And I still haven't gone yet. Which is great.
I think you're still I'll take 4 shots before you take 2.
My second. Yeah, there we go. So that was hole 14. Hole 15 is a shorter hole. It's uphill.
Yeah, it's a new hole.
Oh, that's right.
New 15.
So 15 has changed. It used to be a shorter hole uphill.
Are we playing the old one here?
I don't
remember what we played.
We'll have to wait for the video. I can't remember either. It is the shorter one.
We played the old one. So, all right. So there was still storm damage on the new one we had put in. So I believe we moved the pin from the old one, or the new one, and put it back in the old one for the tournament because of the storm damage.
Yep, nice short par 3 uphill. It's a putter shot. Just trying to miss everything you can and get up there for a putt. I got pretty fortunate.
This is one of the aceable holes out here, being uphill and short. You can give it a good bid at the ace.
Yeah, you see Hank has definitely thrown his putter here as well. He turned it over a little too much. And that's kind of the problem here, is that this tee pad is uphill. So it kind of forces you to think a little bit too much about your shot, and you see it happen to Dan and to Hank, where you end up pulling it right. I pulled mine right and got lucky through the trees. So you're really trying to rip on, what is that, a Navy R3?
Yeah, and I sawed mine off and got a little lucky to get all the way up to just about pin high. Dan putting a run from way out.
Yep, easy par for Dan. That was a good approach. And Hank definitely can make this. And a good run out of Hank. That just a little bit higher would have been good. And Dylan coming up short too. I'm sure that everybody is kind of frustrated right now with nobody getting the birdie so far in this hole. And you've got probably a 40-footer, I want to say.
I think I'm right inside the circle.
Okay. It looks longer.
It looked like about 8 steps there, so.
Okay. And here I am, close to the basket. Definitely inside the circle.
He's starting to make a run.
There we go.
He's finding his groove.
So hole 16 is another uphill hole. There was storm damage years ago that made some big trees fall that kind of made the fairway what it is today, and you've got to avoid some trees and avoid some stuff in the middle here to get up to the basket. But I usually throw a rock.
This is one of the few holes that is one of the originals from the original Jordan layout.
Yeah, and that's on a good line, but I hit that tree dead center.
You missed that either side and you were putting.
Yep.
I'm going Mako.
And pulled it to the right just a little bit.
Yeah, tried to throw it a little too hard, I think.
It's pretty easy to do. There is another pin position that's deeper than this. That's a little bit more fun because you can really rip on a driver up the hill. But this one, you definitely have to shape a shot and land it correctly.
This is a hole I'm always torn between throwing my forehand or the backhand.
Yeah, the distance is right there for a forehand, too. Hank throws his leopard up there, and that just is perfect. What a great shot.
Hank's
Doesn't
really
even have to
starting
think.
to find his groove here in the back
And
nine
here's Dan with his forehand. Again, really smooth, and he got up there for a putt. So I'm throwing the putter up there almost. That looked pretty close.
Good.
Yeah. So at this point,
trying
it's
to
just
get up and down.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next hole and hopefully capture another birdie. And Dylan misses. He definitely got some change there, but and Dan with a good birdie. The rest of us are just going to clean up. This course is so dramatically different from winter golf and summer golf. It's pretty intense how different this course can be. I mean, I remember coming out first time that I played it, and I think I shot 7 under par, but it was late fall when everything's down, and yeah, you can see all the baskets, you can see where you're going, and it certainly makes it an easier course. This hole especially is one that you've got to kind of weave your way through some trees to get up to the basket. The basket sits up on a ledge. There's some trouble in front of the basket with some pits and different things. It's kind of a really unique hole. A lot of fun if you throw the right shot. And Hank just left his a little bit right and caught some garbage.
This is another one that I feel is definitely a little bit forehand friendly.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Hyzer flip for a righty.
And I'm throwing a leopard that I'm hoping is going to get all the way up there.
And it did.
Yeah, it did. That's a putt.
A little long.
It's tough to get all the way to the basket. You got to hit a very narrow gap to do it.
That was not what I was going for.
No, that's like your first flick of the day, though. So we'll see what Dylan can do. Dylan's got a flick that will rival just about anybody's in disc golf. It has so much power out of his hand.
Yeah, he's probably got some of the best distance out of a forehand out of anybody. I was kind of wondering what happened to this, actually. Because I remember us having a little trouble finding there, wondering how it got there at the time.
That is super impressive. That thing rolled forever. So here's Hank with his second shot, and he's just trying to put a putter up to the basket.
Just trying to get up there to save his par. It's definitely not an easy spot from where he was.
And yeah, he's going to have a tough
putt
putt still.
Same with me. I mean, I'm just trying to get close. Within 20 and I'll be happy.
You do see a lot of discs drop off.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, that hit the chains.
I'm not even sure I could see the basket from there.
That is impressive. Wow, I didn't know that happened. And here we have Dan.
For his birdie?
Yeah, he threw a good flick up the hill. And so that was a good birdie opportunity that he had. We got Dylan that rolled down the
roll.
Really good birdie out of Dylan. Yeah, he started out on fire, so he definitely wants to pick up some birdies. He kind of went flat there in the middle of the round, but he can definitely catch back on fire here. Hank making an attempt, but Hank's going to take another bogey, unfortunately.
Oh, some nubs there.
Yeah, man, that would have been a good birdie. And we're going to clean up here. So I'm going to take a par. We got one birdie, one bogey, and everyone else came out unscathed. One of the tougher holes, for sure. One of the tougher par threes on the course. It's a tough birdie hole. So
now we're probably stepping up to the most challenging hole in the course.
By far the most difficult hole in the course.
This is one that makes you think the whole way through it.
Yep. You're playing over OB. Basically, the tee pad is on an island. So you have to get to the grass past this first creek in order to be safe, and position is absolutely crucial. Dylan with a great kick back out into the fairway.
That group of trees back there is jail, and you'll be just looking to lay up to the second creek if you end up in those.
So basically, you've got an island that you're playing to of that grass, and
that made it across.
Yeah,
though.
Dan's across safe, which is good. But you've got an island of fairway down there that you're playing to, and then you're going back over another creek. That looked
really flick. Good.
Yeah, I didn't know I could do that.
You looked happy about it.
Yeah, you can tell I don't do that very often. And then you're playing another tough second shot over the water, and that was a good shot too, because you're putting yourself in a position where you can go for the green. The only way that you're going to birdie this hole. Backhand putter shot is a good shot, but again, Hank is in jail.
Tend to drift into that jail with that.
So Dan going for it.
I remember this being amazing.
Yep, going for it across the water and skipping just in front of the basket. What a shot.
That is an amazing shot.
I can't begin to tell you how good that is. And then here's Devin. So this is, what are you throwing here, a shark?
Yes, that was my shark.
Okay.
Just trying to keep it straight, get it over to the other side.
Yeah.
Got a great kick there.
That's
drifted a little to the right and got a favorable kick. That could have definitely kicked to a B.
So Hank laying up. He's smart. He knows that he's in jail. He laid up to a good spot. Now he can just go right over the water. I'm in an ideal position.
Yeah, your spot's probably the best out of the group.
Yeah, and that was a terrible shot that I think ended up OB. I'm not 100% sure.
You don't have that center tree to contend with. Neither does Dylan.
All I had to do was throw a straight shot there. Yeah, Dylan with a really good-looking shot. Hopefully he doesn't hit anything on that left side.
Oh,
Nope.
You can see it.
Yeah,
in
he
the back.
got all the way back there. He may be deep. So, ideal spot for Hank. He should be able to get up and down pretty easy.
Yeah.
He got fortunate through that right-hand side, but yep. And I probably was OB. I have to assume that I was putting for par.
I'm not sure. Where you picked up your disc looked more than a meter, but you putted from back farther. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to look and see. So here you are for your birdie.
About 20 feet or so.
Incredible birdie. Certainly one of the hardest birdie holes. I don't know anybody who's eagled it, I don't think.
No.
I may have heard stories.
To get across the second creek on a drive would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically having to throw in something from 300 in order to get the eagle. Yeah, so here's I think this is Dan, yeah, for his birdie.
Amazing shot.
And he did get the birdie.
That is a great birdie out of Dan from
So
where
I
his
got a
drive
5.
ended up.
I can only assume that I was in the water. So I got another bogey. Not what I wanted to do, but we move on to some birdie holes here. So hole 1, one of the easier holes on the course. It does have the creek on the left-hand side, which is trouble, but there's enough room on the right that the creek shouldn't come into play.
And yeah, you have the hill behind the basket, so you're not really afraid of going long on this hole. I usually play a little aggressive with my T-bird just because I know that hill's back there.
Yeah, that was incredible that went through that tree, though. But yeah, you can play aggressive because there is a big upslope on the back side of this.
And yeah, there's me with my
That
T-bird.
was so close to going in. Here's Dylan. You can get a mid-range there, but it is you're giving it a lot in order to get your mid-range there. Sometimes it's easier just to step up with a fairway driver or something that's ultra straight and throw it. Looks like Hank's throwing his T-bird.
Yeah, like I said, this is one where I just feel like you're better off clubbing up because of that hill behind there.
Yeah, that's
You're
such
not
a
worried
good
about
shot.
going more than 10, 15 feet long.
Yeah, and Hank gets the replay. Really good looking shot. Brings it in nice and soft and sitting about 5 feet from the basket. Maybe 10. And so I'm throwing my T-bird here too.
Going inside gap.
Not on purpose, and that could be trouble.
Are we assuming you went OB again?
We could be. It depends. We have to assume that I went OB. Because I know I bogeyed the hole. So, yeah. Very good
putt from Dylan.
Very good putt. And yeah, it's this is a hole that you don't want to bogey, but I guess if you're going to bogey it, going OB is the way to do it. And you from the woods with another birdie.
Putter was feeling good today.
Yeah, you were catching fire here.
Good old XT whale.
Oh. Just a little too far to the right. It wanted to stay in. And Hank with a birdie. So Hank's making his way back into this thing. Yeah, going into the creek there is you don't typically get your disc back. It's real deep and it flows real fast through that area of the course.
Yeah, we'll be coming up on hole 2 now. Probably the easier stretch of the course right here. Holes 1, 2, and 3, I think, and 4. This is just a turnover mid-range for me. I'm throwing my Mako.
Yeah, I typically throw a Comet here just where I can give it a nice ace run because you do have the rocks and you have the backdrop behind it to stop your disc, and it's going to keep you inside the circle. So you can get aggressive. If you leave it too far to the right, you do have the trail that's OB. But not
It's
a mistake that's typically made. It's tough to get to the path.
You'd have to throw it pretty far past the basket to get to the path.
Yeah, you can. This is a hole that you can definitely get aggressive on. And I think Hank's throwing a rock here.
We'll have a look from there. He's probably inside the circle.
Absolutely.
Another one that's sets up well for the forehand as well.
Yeah, if you have a nice, smooth, controlled forehand, I mean, I could see, Ricky throwing a harp here all day long. Just nice and easy and getting it to finish the right way.
Looks like an MJ Comet.
Yeah, I'm much more comfortable throwing a turnover Comet, and I hit the middle tree again. The one that you aim for the most part.
See if you can capitalize, make the best of it.
Nah, I'm going to take a par.
All right, we'll just lay it up.
Yeah.
It's a good option.
Oops. So, yeah, this is definitely holes 1 and 2 or your birdie holes. You know, you definitely want to get your birdies. Dylan squeaked that baby in there.
They're definitely 2 nice holes to play after hole 18. Some things can definitely go wrong on 18, knowing you have these 2 after 18.
Yeah.
Comforting.
Yeah, it is. It's a good way to finish the round. You can definitely get yourself back under par. You know, get some birdies to make up some room in what could be catastrophe on hole 18. I've seen a lot of really big numbers on that hole. So we move on. Hole 3 is another par 3. It's 340 feet. It's a really nice controlled turnover shot and/or flick shot. In the summer, it gets tough to get through these 2 trees.
Yep, that first gap's a little tougher than it looks. It's got a slight low ceiling with a little bit of an uphill elevation to it. I went beat up 11-time T-bird there.
Yeah, you can see the flick is obviously an option going through this as well. I've made attempts in the past at going over the top.
Like a little branch nick that kept that going straight for him.
There is a line over the top, but it is tougher to control. Most people opt to go down the middle.
Yeah, there's a good handful of people that like the roller on this hole too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Justin Medore throws a roller on this hole every time. I think with pretty good result, too. But this should be nice. I want to see Dan's flick through this gap.
Makes it look so effortless.
I know. Flirting with the tennis courts up there.
Yeah, I usually don't have to worry about throwing my flick that far.
Yeah, that's impossible. For me,
Stay up, stay up.
yeah, just a little bit low on a decent line. But again,
this would be a great putt right
it's
here.
going to be tough to make these putts. I'm leaving myself outside far enough where...
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just tough to capitalize when you're that far away.
Yeah, I guess I'll just lay it up.
Yeah, you never gave that one a chance. Just wasn't high enough out of the hand. Now that the shrub row that's in back behind the basket there is new, and anything past that is OB now. It used to be pretty open going back there, and it was nice that we could block that off and make an element where if you do go deep, you get into trouble.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not sure if that was a homeowner or the park, but that separates the park from a house that's back there.
yeah. Either way, it's nice to separate the course from that field that was back there. So, all right. Well, we've got
1 to go, right? Hole
Yeah.
4 left.
We've got Dylan and Devin are tracking here. I mean, you guys are really making a run. If you're anywhere near 10 down on this course, you're playing really good. So you guys are making your moves. Dylan kind of caught fire here at the end and is playing extremely good.
This is a hole where you're just trying to hit either side of that center tree in this gap. A little bit of a low ceiling, and there's a walking path behind this basket. I'd say between 20 and 30 feet. That is OB.
Really good looking shot out of Dylan. He put that exactly where you want it to and skipped it where you wanted it to.
This is my trusty T-bird once again.
Yeah, you're throwing that all over
And
the
yeah,
place,
I'm
but
throwing for that half tree out there and just letting it break off and make the putt.
I'm usually taking out something a little bit more stable and throwing it flat down the right side and then relying on that skip to get all the way back to the basket.
This time of year, it's hard to rely on the skip in this grass sometimes, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. And
That's
I did
the
not.
center tree, but you caught some of the branches.
Yeah, I didn't do what I said I typically try to do. I left it early and it went down that left-hand side.
Millisecond of release time.
Yeah. Yeah. Hank laying up.
Laying up, getting this round over with.
I'm going to have to pull something off here.
Flick putt.
I don't think I'm going for this.
Are you sure?
Maybe I will.
I don't know.
Not bad, though. I think that I left myself right there for the putt and finish up my round with another par.
This would be a good way for Dan to finish up right here.
Yeah, just a little low. And you ended up with a birdie there.
Near tap-in birdie.
Yeah. I got my par. It looks like Dylan is extremely close as well. And, yeah, he got his birdie, too. So, after the first round, we've got Dylan at 9 down. Devin, you're leading at 10 down. I am at even par, a hard-fought even par. Dan Brooks-Wells is at 3 down, and Hank made his way back to 2 down. I'm sure that none of us were very satisfied except for you and Dylan. But really, really good round out of you two. Really excited to see what happens here with the rest of the tournament. Thanks for joining me. Certainly we give a big thanks to Tea Time Disc Golf and everything that they do being out there. And I hope that you guys come back and join us. Any parting words, Devin?
Just hope to see y'all on the next round. Keep on watching, and thanks to Tea Time.
Very good. Thank you, guys.